Welcome, Tag Foo. What? First and only podcast about people eating stuff. I'm Mike Lisk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to another episode of Egg. What? Love the way you nailed it again this week, Mike, with the what? I see someone's been practicing.
A little trill there, I thought.
You're your own worst critic, Mike.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's my worst critic.
I want to thank you for your appearance last night on Slice of Life, the fill-in show for the best show.
Fun. That was fun. What's the scuttlebutt? What's the feedback? Hit me. Am I out? Am I out?
No. You performed admirably. So no negative feedback to report.
Okay. I noticed later y'all kept going after I hung up. I was surprised.
It was a 3-hour show, and I don't know. I guess I couldn't get them to commit for the 3 hours for you.
Oh, I'm not saying I wanted to do the 3 hours. I'm just saying after I was on, why was anybody listening? Much less you guys. But
okay,
hey, we all make decisions in this life, Mike.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. A lot of people probably checked out, but
that's all right.
Little excitement before this.
It's fun. I enjoyed it. So anytime, buddy.
We'll have to get you on there more often.
Well, let's talk numbers first, and then preliminaries.
So I'm going out to get my egg foo young today. We're doing another round of egg foo young from
back to basics, baby.
A new place for me. I mean, have you gotten it from 4 different places?
I've gotten it from different places, but I made sure today that wherever I ordered it from, I'd ordered it before because I know I've been pretty happy with it around here. So,
okay.
But yeah, like every time U2 threatens to drop an album, back to basics.
So anyway,
like that our number 52 episode signifying 1 year is Egg Foo Young, right? That feels right. Yeah.
So it's a bit of a celebration. 52 episodes.
Don't you fall apart on me, Mike Lisk. Don't you? Don't you? You're going to get my waterworks going if you go.
No, I almost had an emergency before the show. I'm pulling out of my driveway on my way to the takeout place, China number 1.
Number 1. It gives you number 2. Hey-oh!
I pull back in reverse.
Are you losing us, Mike?
I pull back in reverse. I put it in drive, start to move, and a kid on a bicycle just cuts right in front of me, within inches of the car. I never saw him. I never saw him coming. All of a sudden, he was just there. I didn't hit him, but it was shocking. I came very close to hitting this guy, and he wasn't real small. He looked like he was about 14, maybe. He's a long, lanky youngster. But it sort of agitated me, and rolled the window down and told him to watch what he's doing.
Ooh, always teaching. Mike Lisk, always teaching.
And of course, his response to that was to immediately start looking at his phone while he was on the bike. So I don't know if the phone was what caused him to, at the last minute, make this little swerve in front of me. But
did he have headphones on?
No.
I bet he didn't hear you, right?
No, well, yeah, that would have been the capper, right? I'm yelling. He doesn't hear me. He's already back on his phone. He's moved on, and I'm all agitated in the car. But yeah, so I go to my place, China number 1. Maybe I should start doing that when I enter this place. I'll tell you this: they're number 1 for the weight.
Here we go.
I got another heavy bag.
Ooh.
This thing's like 5 pounds.
It's gonna be a Mike heavy bag.
I thought I got the wrong order. I'm like, what is this? And sure enough, I mean, wait until you see the picture. I got these 3 thick patties. They fill up the entire container. the width of the container. They barely fit in there. They're like giant pancakes.
Mhm.
I'm going to get 3 meals out of this thing.
Ooh, I know you like that.
I got 3 meals out of last week's, the pineapple chicken.
Can I mention something that's been on my mind all day?
Go
Speaking of
ahead.
this, it did occur to me today, and I think I've thought of this before. The 3 patties is too much in that 1 patty is not enough. 2's almost too much, but if you try to go for that 3rd one, you're just going to be miserable. But I'm at work, so I don't want to carry, pack the 3rd one up and bring it to my desk and leave it. I'm probably going to forget it. So for the first time, because usually I just throw the shit away, I don't care.
Mhm.
But because it's egg foo young, I was like, I don't want to throw this away. But yeah, I threw the 3rd patty away.
Threw it away. Wow.
And to be honest, I barely made it through the. Well, it's not true, but the 2 patties were more than enough for me.
Yeah, I was full with this 1 patty. The other thing is they gave me all this gravy. There's no way I'm going to use all this gravy in 3 meals. They gave me a large rice. Did you get a large rice? You get a large rice?
I just got small, whatever came. I didn't eat a lot of the rice. I don't want to fill up on rice.
But so yeah, it was a lot of food. I mean, it was great. It was good. I went for the roast pork version, which I think is probably the best. Would you say that?
It's definitely, to me, the default. Like, I don't even think of. I just call it, pork egg foo young.
Right.
I don't even think of it any other way.
Mhm.
But the shame of the 3rd patty and me having to leave it behind is what did we learn from our young friend of the show, Jack Watts? Egg foo young and most Chinese food, but especially egg foo young, the next day after a little hit in the microwave, maybe even better.
Yeah. Well, I've got 2 more days of this.
So I'm really, usually I don't care,
mhm.
but I'm really bummed about tossing this stuff today. But
You couldn't get a coworker to,
nobody's eating. I'm not bringing these people into this. Oh no,
It's just a nice gesture,
who's gonna take a leftover unused egg foo
Well,
young?
you didn't touch it. You didn't, it's
Yeah.
still in the container, right?
Yeah, but it's a little weird. I don't know if I'm. Yeah, I don't know. That's a little weird. That didn't occur to me.
But don't you think of yourself as the ambassador of Egg Foo Young? Wasn't this
Yeah,
a chance for you to just, make a connection with a coworker?
well, I don't mind keeping my work life separate from my egg foo young life. Nobody I work with needs to hear any of this.
Not even the young lady you've been encountering on the train.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, we're right at it with the ratings. Yeah, I'd say this is a definite 9. The fact that I'm going to get 3 meals out of it is just ridiculous.
Have you ever gone to 9?
I think I have.
Oh, Michael.
I think the shredded pork,
After a year?
with Peking sauce. I think that I really like that one.
Wow. So after a year of study, I think what we learned is young Michael loves him some egg foo young.
No, it's good. And I think I'm lucky to be within 4 places that do it very well.
Mhm.
Um,
It's all about the
ha-
gravy, dog.
have you ever gotten bad egg foo young?
Well, like I say, it's all about the gravy.
Mhm.
So anytime I've gotten bad egg foo young, it's always because they have some bullshit gravy that's like plum sauce, anything purple, straight to garbage, and I'll never go to that place again. It's all about the gravy. Like this, I would give this an 8.9, and it was great. And the gravy was really, really good. If it had been a little puffier.
Yeah, I
Little
think you would have
lighter.
approved. I got to take a picture. I didn't take a picture of the gravy,
Yeah.
but I think you would approve. It was definitely. It felt like turkey gravy, Thanksgiving Day gravy. It was thick.
Is that the best compliment you can give someone? Maybe you're like turkey gravy on Thanksgiving.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the only time I really eat gravy all year. I'm not getting gravy with a lot of what I eat normally. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, it was good. And yeah, I think he would have approved. It was and like I said, it's heavy. They gave me a full thing. There's no way in hell I'm using all this. Want me to ship it down your way?
Be nice, yes, if you could package
Okay.
it up, send it
You
to
know,
me.
I hate throwing out food. Maybe you could appreciate this gravy.
I think after a year of doing this with you, I'm starting to have pangs of that. I'm like, I don't want to throw this away.
Uh,
Although to be fair, usually when I throw it away, it's absolute garbage. I have no interest in eating anyway.
mhm,
But this definitely would have been a 9 if the gravy had been a scotch puffier. That's all.
mhm.
But I think what we're learning is it's all about the egg foo young.
Yeah, no,
We can do
it's
this. We can try this. We can eat this. We can eat that. We can do chow mein. We can do all comes back to egg foo young.
and now maybe people can leave some comments there if they've had their first experience
First experience comments, guys.
with egg foo young from listening to this show. We're interested in what your experience was. I tried something else this week. I don't know if I saw a commercial or something. It put the idea in my head. Popeyes has these ghost wings.
But they don't exist. You pay for them and they hand you an empty plate.
Well, ghost
Give us
pepper is like
$12, asshole.
ghost pepper is this new hot thing. It's like, can you stand the ghost pepper? And I have to say, it was disappointing.
Well, in any of those things, I think when you say any of these crazy spice things,
Right.
if it's a chain like that, it can only be so hot,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
They don't want to get complaints. And I mean, the first one I had, I'm like, okay, they had a nice little afterburn to it, But then as I went along, I was like, I was not getting any heat at all. I'm like, this is a ripoff. And so very disappointing experience with that.
It's funny you brought up Popeyes. I haven't had Popeyes in a while. Particularly a chicken sandwich. And one of my only beef about the chicken sandwich. You ever have the chicken sandwich?
Actually, I bought a chicken sandwich at the same time because
Okay.
that's my favorite chicken sandwich.
Yes. Okay, good. We're on the same page.
Okay.
The only ding I've ever had on it is you can't get cheese on it because Popeyes never has cheese because why would they? But maybe this is how my mind works and why I'm going to die alone, probably in your basement. I forget what they were offering.
Hold up.
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening.
You won't let me in your basement?
What do you mean? I'm going to get a knock in the middle of the night and you're going to be there with a blanket?
Maybe.
Let me in.
You wouldn't let? Oh, no room at the inn.
Maybe the
How
garage.
that ended.
Maybe the garage. I'll make some room for a pallet. If you
pallet of feed.
You bring your own pallet.
Pallet. A pallet of feed? What are you talking about? Pallet?
Yeah, well, yeah, you're not a Faulkner fan. William Faulkner would always talk about people making a pallet on the floor in lieu of a bed. And it was always like, what are they talking about? A pallet?
I know what a pallet is.
Yeah.
And I guess you can make it into a bed.
But I guess if you put a bunch of blankets on the floor, that's a pallet so you can sleep on the floor.
Well, I think I lived in Oxford, Mississippi for 2 years, and little scoop about Faulkner or something like that. I liked his booze. So I don't think he knew what the hell he was talking about. Sorry, Faulkner.
Well, back to your chicken sandwich with cheese. They have a chicken sandwich with cheese now.
Yes. So here's some other menu item popped up, maybe a commercial or something.
Blackened chicken.
Maybe that's what it is. And it occurred
with
to me,
cheese.
Oh, now they have cheese available. And I looked it up. Now you can get cheese on the sandwich. So I think I'm going to try it.
Okay.
Yeah, long story short, I'm going to try the chicken sandwich. And it's already my favorite chicken sandwich. And I love cheese. And I love cheese on chicken sandwiches. And I'm going to live in your basement one day soon. So I'm definitely getting it.
What kind of cheese?
I hope American. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I didn't look into that.
Because the blackened chicken had like a Monterey cheese.
Oh.
It was okay.
It works with that. but for a regular, come on, they better have American. I'm sorry. I spent 20 years trying to find a better cheese for any sandwich, burger, tuna melt, blah, blah, blah. Just like us with Egg Foo Young, it all comes back to American cheese. And I don't want to hear people say it's not really cheese. I don't care what it is. It's a perfect cheese. It melts perfectly. Popeyes doesn't have it on their sandwich. Guess what? We're not going to let them sponsor this show.
And when you say American cheese, you mean the white American cheese, right?
It can be white.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I think of orange first, but white or orange.
You like the food dye?
Oh, here we go. Okay. We're gonna take down the food dye industry now. Taking on big dye. I mean, no, I just want to enjoy a sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't want to take down an industry. Much beloved. Is white, I'm sorry, do we think white American cheese is some noble, healthy thing? Or is it?
Yeah, I always get the white. I get the white. Land O'Lakes.
It has one less food coloring.
Any brand in particular? Brand, Land O'Lakes or
Kraft, whatever.
Kraft,
Boar's Head, whatever.
Boar's Head.
Anything. Yeah, I think white American cheese is just, one less orange dye than orange. I'm sure they're all terrible for you. But if I try to get it from Popeyes, because that, like, a pepper jack works with a spicy sandwich, that makes sense. For the regular, I don't want it to be a problem, Popeyes, but I did not get a fortune cookie.
No fortune cookie. All right. Well, I'll save mine for a little later. I saw you complaining about this new condiment.
It doesn't sound like me.
The Cola Up.
Oh, come on.
Tell us about the Cola Up.
It's this garbage condiment. They combining Pepsi and ketchup.
Yeah, no, it's the dumbest thing.
Two things nobody wants.
And
they're like, let's put them together. I don't know if it's a joke. My rule about ketchup? It's for children and Midwesterners. Anyone else? I don't want to hear it.
Not even for French fries?
No. Not even for French fries. It would be especially for French fries.
I like ketchup with French fries.
No.
Not even with a hamburger?
No.
No?
No.
Really? Okay.
Children and people and Midwesterners. That's it. I'll allow it.
I beg to differ.
But you know what? I should order some of that and try it.
Yeah, why not?
But my beef was it was called
Cola Up instead of Peps Up.
Yeah, I'm like, why don't they call it Peps Up?
Yeah.
So
they couldn't even get the name right.
Couldn't get the name right.
It's a dumb idea with a dumb name.
Dumb name. They probably spent $1 billion on the name and branding. And what if one of them tunes into this and they're like, fuck, Peps Up. Why did we think of that? Jesus.
Better trademark that.
Oh, why did I think of that? So yeah, it's a dumb product. It's a terrible product, and named even worse. So
I'm going to blow your mind.
The perfect storm of idiocy for food that should not live.
I'm going to blow your mind. I have another ketchup story in the news. Food in the news.
These ketchup people.
Or condiment in it. Maybe this is a new segment. Condiments in the news.
In the news.
We finally got an answer from Heinz about what you do with this is like a non-issue for you. But people apparently don't know what to do with ketchup once you open it.
Oh,
yeah, that wasn't included. People are confused about putting it in the ketchup in the refrigerator or putting it back in the pantry. I mean, you when you buy it from the store, it's not cold.
Same with mayonnaise.
I mean, we've always put the ketchup in the fridge. Well, they finally advised that you put it in the fridge.
That sounds like a your ass scenario.
So one of mankind's most perplexing questions has finally been settled by Heinz. I guess they've been keeping this to themselves all these years.
Well, it is interesting because, mayonnaise, which everyone's scared of, if it's slightly tainted, you'll drop dead.
Right.
But that comes off the shelf warm. And, a million times I'll take it home and just make a tuna fish sandwich before I put the rest in the fridge. But they're very like, oh, as soon as you open it, you got to put in the fridge. And I'm like, well, what if I just opened it, used some, closed it, and left it? You know, not in the baking sun, not in the parking lot on the asphalt.
On the dashboard.
Because another thing, did you see the poll I put up last night about warm lettuce?
No, I missed that one.
I don't know if it's I'm getting old or my teeth are getting more sensitive. Lately, I've been feeling like every time
A and B.
Hmm?
A and B. Did you have both as a possibility?
No, I know how to conduct a poll. I understand how yes, no works, Mike. So I didn't have a problem. Wasn't a struggle for me.
Okay.
But all of a sudden lately, I really feel like everything I take out of a fridge and eat, I'm like, oh, this is cold. I kind of try to warm it up in my mouth a little bit. So now I'm like, should I just leave my mayo out? Like, you know, I keep a bunch of tuna fish in the fridge ready to go, but I'm like, this is like freezing. So then I was like, I was having some salad yesterday. And yeah, the lettuce was like, I'm like, do I have to let this sit out for 10 minutes? Like, is that normal?
Is it the warmth or the wilting?
It's freezing. It's always super cold. Like, I don't know if my teeth are sensitive.
Oh, you don't want the cold lettuce.
Too cold.
Too cold.
Which sounds insane, but I'm eating it and I'm like, I could let this sit for a while. What do you make of that?
Well, you're always talking about how you love the crispy lettuce. And when I think of crispy lettuce, I think of it being cold.
Correct. As I do too.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, should there be an option for a salad where it's just room temperature? It's not hot, not warm, just room temperature. You know, fine.
Sometimes when I get a grilled chicken salad, and I know we stumbled on this in the past. It's just grilled chicken thrown in with the salad, not chicken salad.
Right.
Now I'm confusing myself. The heat of the grilled chicken in the salad kind of warms things up. So maybe that's the way you should go.
Yeah, but then it gets too hot because like a lot of times if you get a McChicken, McDonald's, they'll throw the lettuce and mayo on there before they throw in the microwave. Boil it so it's 9,000 degrees. Like I don't want that either. But I don't know. I can't be the only one who wants these things a little more room temperature, especially since we are in the age now. You know, eggs, butter, mayo, whatever. We're so terrified if we leave anything out of the refrigerator for more than 0 seconds and somebody touches it, they'll just drop dead. I have a feeling, but then at the same time, we complain about all the preservatives and everything in these things. So it's like, it's got to be one or the other. Either it's so fresh and real and pure, we have to sprint to the fridge, or we understand what we're griping and bitching about and be like, you know what, we can leave this out here in the street for a couple of days. It'd be fine. But I don't know if I'll get a lot of support from my warm room temperature lettuce campaign. But I've never been, but my teeth haven't been super sensitive forever, but like I can never bite ice cream. Like some people can bite ice cream, but I think that's abnormal. That's a little like, can you bite ice cream?
I've got some sort of impending dental thing coming on where sometimes I'll just bite on, it's just like certain bites will cause some pain in my lower middle area. So I don't know if it's a cavity, what's going on. I'm not in constant pain. It's only the occasional, the odd bite. And it's not really, you know, screaming pain. It's just like, oh, there's that thing that happens now because I'm old and this stuff is just breaking down.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to get a wisdom tooth removed a few years ago. That was my last dental crisis. And that was sort of an eye opener. I went to this, I mean, my regular dentist couldn't do it. I'm like, what? You know, I have to go to a specialist for a wisdom tooth. And apparently there's like wisdom teeth mills. I went to this place and it was jammed. It was just, I guess, everybody who needed a wisdom tooth pulled in the area is
Mhm.
at this place daily. I
Like Jiffy
mean,
Lube, just run in,
it's
out.
yeah, and it was like it's a quick procedure. I mean, I waited a little while, but once he came in, it was bang bang. Here's your prescription for codeine. I took it, but I never had it filled because me and codeine do
Mhm.
not get along.
A bad history, you and codeine, Mike. Ooh.
You ever take codeine?
No, I don't think so.
When they hand it to you, they should just tell you, yeah, you're in one sort of pain. This will help you with that, but it's going to give you another pain,
Mm.
and it's the pain of constipation.
Ah, yes.
I mean, I did not know this the first time I took codeine, and I'm going through this, and I'm like, what the, I never had that in my life.
Mm.
So yeah, I was not, and I didn't even have that much pain to begin with. So, they're just handing out these prescriptions. I guess they got a deal with who's ever producing the codeine. But
How long did your constipation last? Well, we are old men now. Old men talking. Tooth pain. How long? How was your school?
well, we're working. I have some death stories. So
Okay.
we're in the old the body breaking down section of the show. I knew
Because I've
you
never
when I
had it
broke.
before this year.
I think I knew you when I broke my collarbone. Remember that
Yeah, yeah.
way back when? And yeah, that's when I found out all about codeine.
Ooh,
Um,
grizzly.
yeah, and but yeah.
I,
Anyway,
I I never experienced it until last summer. Did I tell you about this? Did I tell you
I,
about this? Like I tell everybody when I get constipated. Of course, now I have no problem telling. So I never really been what I thought is constipation, but
Mhm.
all of a sudden I'm just lying there and I'm like, and this went on for hours, and I'm like, it's just a weird feeling, right? Because
Mhm.
it's not like pain, but it's like kind of scary because all of a sudden you're like, I don't, this is weird. So long story short, it went on for hours, and but once the dam finally broke, I'll never forget this. This is
Uh-huh.
funny.
Uh-huh.
I'll never forget this. I've had a lot of great moments in my life. I've been lucky to meet great people, have great times, see
Uh-huh.
great moments. When this finally started dislodging itself from my body and I knew freedom was near,
Uh-huh.
I literally said to myself, Greg, slow down and enjoy this feeling. Be present.
Uh-huh.
Never in my life have I thought that to myself. At any moment of any good thing happen to me, Greg, take a moment, soak this in. When this was happening, when relief was coming, I literally thought to myself, slow down and enjoy this feeling. Be present.
See, I didn't have that experience. I didn't have the buildup that you're describing.
Mhm.
My pain came in the execution,
Mm.
and the famous saying, uh, shitting a brick is basically what I was experiencing. Just
Yeah.
I'm there waiting. I knew it was imminent,
Yeah.
but now I'm in agony, and I'm like, wow, this is not worth it.
Yeah. It was scary because then I started thinking about, I mean, remember hearing those stories 20 years ago when they talk about how they torture people in Iraq that super glue guys' assholes together,
Yeah.
shot so you shit and then you die because from the
Mhm.
I said, is this gonna happen to me? So then I left Iraq. I said, fuck this, I'm out of here. No.
All right. I think maybe we should move on. um,
That's one of the greatest moments of my life. Greg, enjoy this moment.
yeah, no, it sounded like you've never forgotten. How many years ago was this?
No, it was just last year. It was last
Oh,
summer.
last year. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And it only lasted a couple of hours, so I'm sure people will have worse. But
yeah, tell us about your experience in the
yeah, fill in
comments.
the comments about when you were constipated.
It's This is a special edition of the show.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I'd say I guess it was like pregnancy, but I'm sure if I said that,
no, that's
I'd
not
be
right.
wrong, and it wouldn't
Yeah.
be. Wouldn't be
Yeah.
nice, Mike. Wouldn't be nice. Okay, how much money you offer me? Not gonna do that one.
Uh-huh. Food in the news and death in the news. I've got
Two of my
combined.
favorite things.
I've got combined stories.
I would think so.
Have you heard about any of these stories? Pink is out there. She's touring. I think she's in England now.
Oh,
During one of her,
somebody gave her a block of cheese, a wheel of cheese. Is that what you're
yeah,
gonna say?
yeah, yeah. She got somebody threw up a giant wheel of cheese during her song,
Wheel of cheese?
and this is the actual title. Fucking Perfect. Are you familiar with that song?
No.
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
What's it called?
It's fucking perfect.
Let's clean it up, Mike. Let's
Yeah.
clean the language. Come on now.
Effing,
Come on.
effing perfect.
You're better than that, Mike.
Somebody decided that that was the perfect time to throw up a huge wheel of brie cheese onto the stage. But this is the second time somebody threw something unusual on the stage.
Uh-oh.
You didn't hear the other story?
About my T-shirt and Joe Strummer?
No. Another Pink show. A plastic bag came hurtling towards the stage with looked like powder inside of it, which could be kind of threatening.
Mm-hmm.
It turned out to be a fan's mother's ashes.
Huh.
Yeah, so somebody saw fit to bring their mother's ashes to the show and to throw the ashes up on stage during the song Just Like a Pill. Another song I'm not familiar with.
Oh, I remember that one.
Do you? Yeah.
I remember that one.
Okay. Is
That
that one
might
of
be
her
her
bigger
last.
hits?
That might be her last hit. Remember.
I think I only know what was the party song?
Party Pill. I remember. And this was 15 years ago. I mean,
Mhm.
there's one other one, but now that's kind of. Was she a fan of Pink or the mother? Because
Well, yeah, that's a good question.
thank you, Mike. Because how old could the mother have been? Like,
Mhm.
let's say minimum the girl's 18. She's going to a
Mhm.
concert.
Yeah.
The mother's 40 and died. Like, does it say anything about the fan?
Well, yeah. Now you got me wondering. Let me look it up. But
It's not like a mother like our age, our mother. If you know who'd be like if we saw Elizabeth Taylor, yeah, we'd throw our mother's ashes at her, you know. But I wouldn't do that if I saw, Pink.
let's see.
And then what'd she do with the ashes? Do you know?
Yeah, let me.
She snored them in front of the girl. Like, fuck you.
Now that was Keith Richards did that, right? Didn't Keith Richards claim to snort some of his dad's ashes?
Claims to, yeah, yeah. Mike, we can see your screen and your glasses. We can see all that trash you watch. Oh, Mike. Oh God, Mike. See all your browser history? Like the Terminator.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if the girl is young, the mother could have been in her 40s, but like, I mean, Pink has been around for 20 years. It's just hard to believe somebody that young. I don't know. I think we're back to the fact that you and I are just old as fuck. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, Pink said she I guess she called out, asking who is this your mom? And a witness, I guess, said it was. And I don't know how I feel about this, said Pink. Yeah.
What if she took the ashes and she just happened to have a
And then
mixing bowl, a couple of eggs and milk, and just made a cake right there with the ashes? How great
no,
would that?
they said that, after handling the bag, Pink had to wash her hands, which, that seems sensible.
Sensible.
But yeah, no, no, they don't say whether who was the fan,
I mean, she couldn't have kept them. Like,
Yeah, no, I'll have to do some more investigation on this case.
What if you did that and then you find out your mother didn't love pink? It turns out you heard wrong, and I don't know, she liked the pink ladies from Greece or something.
Uh,
Or somehow there's a mix up and you threw your mother or father's ashes at the wrong person. How stupid would you feel?
yeah, no, to me, it's just like you're passing off. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted her mother's ashes at a Pink show, yeah, don't give it to Pink. What's she gonna do with it? Now she's got to deal with it. I mean, if she wanted to just, maybe in between, the encore, just throw them up in the air, right? So everybody gets showered with the mother's ashes as they're, clapping for the encore.
Do we know she wasn't bullshitting? What if I just start carrying around ashes?
Well, yeah, yeah.
Oh, Mike Lisk is saying that there's no depravity in humans low enough to do that. Come on now. I don't know how I beat you to it.
Anyway, that was a
With her
bizarre
finger, like
story.
you do with cocaine. She did a little finger taste test. Oh yeah, these are ashes. I was impressed with the wheel of cheese. I was like, wow, that is.
Yeah, we just had a wheel of cheese story not too long ago in Food in the News.
Sorry, you find these wheels of cheeses.
Wheel of cheese stories coming out of England.
What was it Andrew Jackson had a big wheel of cheese in the White House? Was that the story? Remember that?
Yeah, I think there's yet another combination of food in the news and death in the news stories. And this is, I guess McDonald's is just, the promotion is unbelievable. I guess it never stops. They've got this dumb shake, the Grimace Shake. It's a purple shake, and it's
I keep
supposed
seeing
to
that pop up. I'm
it's supposed to taste like berries or something. But the promotion's been endless. But apparently, there's a new TikTok trend where people are seen with the shake, sampling the shake, but then in the next shot, they're sprawled on the ground with the shake all over the floor. And there's a one video where it's three young women drinking the shake, and then the next shot is them two bodies on the ground, and one woman crawling with
legit. Yeah.
and vomiting the Grimace Shake. So yeah, there've been these dark videos combining.
What did Grimace have to do to these people?
Well, that's McDonald's is perplexed. They don't know how to handle this, but they've acknowledged the trend. They don't understand it, but
Well, it's stupid. Like, what's the reasoning other than the color? Because of course you set up people to say, "Oh, does it taste like Grimace?" And all those terrible jokes.
uh-huh.
So just like the Pepsi people, who are the wizards behind this marketing? That's pretty atrocious.
Yeah.
And whatever happened to the Hamburglar? Just throwing that out there.
He'll be back.
Mayor
They can't let him just sort of disappear.
was the last time you saw him?
Good question, though.
Thank you, Mike. I'm done with this guy, counselor.
Apparently, the test to find out whether the McDonald's near you is a good McDonald's or a bad McDonald's is to order 10 quarter pounders with cheese
Been there, brother.
and receive them in less than 5 minutes, which is, I can't even get 1 quarter pounder with cheese in 5 minutes. So I can't imagine my place, making 10 at one time.
So you go in, you just want to test them.
Yeah, it's a test. It's going to cost you a lot of money.
Yeah, first of all, you're out $50. You're not going to eat 9 of these.
Right.
Unlike Chinese food, I don't know if McDonald's holds well for the next day. But
yeah, I've zapped a burger.
Huh?
I've zapped a burger in the microwave.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. That's all you need.
But I feel like that's the opposite of a good test, because obviously that's a special order. So you'd have everybody scurrying in the kitchen. So yeah, I bet those are hot and fresh right out of the oven, because it's such a weird special order. They probably scramble the jets, all hands on deck. I think whoever's doing this, first of all, is the person doing this on this call right now? Is this
No.
no,
apparently this is a former chef or something from McDonald's. So yeah, he's saying it's a stress test. So you're stressing the workers, but if it's a well coordinated restaurant, they'll be able to handle it.
Yeah, I disagree. I think a real test would just be a normal order and see how they do it. Because if you put in an order like that, of course they're gonna, it's gonna be all hands on deck. Timmy, who's been there for 5 weeks, is gonna get called in as the expert to put these things together.
And you're supposed to do it at a busy time too, lunch or dinner.
Yeah. Plus, if you're doing that, especially at busy time, you're just an asshole. You know what? Do your busy 10 quarter pounder tests another time.
Yeah.
Fuck, you're an asshole if you're doing that in like the middle of the rush. It's like, why not just ask if they can handle 100, 500 for a real stress test? Get the hell out. I'm against everything this idiot has done. I'm against all of it. I'm Team McDonald's on this. Nothing about this stupid test makes any sense.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we can bring him on board as a sponsor next week.
Whoops. Whoa. Am I blowing the McDonald's account?
You can look into that.
No, I'm Team McDonald's, so that's good. I was against them on this Grimace thing, which is weird. Against that, just have a blueberry shake. You don't have to throw Grimace in there.
Yeah.
I'm against that, but I'm Team McDonald's on this idiot with the stress test.
I saw you posting about the bear.
Cool. So good.
Which, I've heard good things. So I was, interested in it. So I watched the first episode.
Oh, you're talking about the first season?
Yeah. I'm going to start from the beginning.
Right.
And I don't know. It seemed a little weird to me. From the first episode, it seems like it's not like a normal restaurant, that it's got odd hours, and apparently they make one sandwich.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. It's a specialty. I think it's one of those things you come in, they're open probably till like 3 PM, just throw out these sandwiches, and I guess they're supposed to be amazing.
All right. I mean, I guess these places exist, but I've never been to a one sandwich. Well, maybe some of these cheesesteak places qualify for that, I guess.
That's the way I picture it. Yeah. But I would say stick with it. The first season was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was worried. I'm not doing any spoilers here. I was worried. You'll see as the show goes on, it's very tense.
Yeah. No, I got that in the first episode. Yeah. And, I can see they dropped hints. His brother passed away. He sort of stepped into the situation, and he's trying to deal with it. And apparently he was a fine chef, so it's a step down for him.
Yeah.
He's kind of slumming now.
But I was like, and they keep up that intensity for the whole 10 episodes. And it was great. But by the end, you're like, oh my God. So coming back for this second season, I was a little worried, but man, I was thinking today, I think I posted it. I'm not a drama. I don't watch a lot of dramas, but I can't think of a better season for a drama since maybe I'd say True Detective. And when I say that, I mean the first season, the real season, not the shit that came after.
Yeah, the season I didn't like.
The season. Yeah.
Everybody loved.
You're the guy.
Everybody loved it. I was laughing my ass off every time Matthew McConaughey came on with his intensity. His intensity, I find humorous. So there's no humor in The Bear. I thought maybe there'd be some humor.
Well, that's another thing. That first of all, with the True Detective thing, you're like the guy who loves Wings but doesn't care for the Beatles. Like, come on.
Not true.
That bugged me. They called it a comedy. And so in the awards, it would be in the comedy category, which bugged me. I don't know why, because it's not like I have anything to do with these things. I'm not going to win anything or whatever. But I mean, it had funny lines here or there. But yeah, the second season, it is lighter. It is funnier the second season, but it hits a thing midway through and just launches. It's unbelievable. I hope you stick with it.
All right.
It's phenomenal. Fantastic. I can't think of a better dramatic season than that.
So it isn't a comedy. I mean, it didn't seem like a comedy to me. Just from
it's
that
like
one
what they
episode.
call Barry a comedy. Eventually, it's not, you know. But I think they do that. That bugs me. I think some shows do that. They think, oh, if we slide into the comedy category, to be easy to win because nobody respects comedy, which is bullshit.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Yeah, so that bugged me.
Hmm.
But this season is just unbelievable, off the charts.
All right.
But I did go back and watch the first. As soon as I was done, I went back to watch the first episode.
Hmm.
Yeah, what you do sometimes. And if you remember, the very first scene is him, like there's literally a cage and a bear comes walking out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I was laughing. I was like, there's no chance watching this for the first time. I didn't make some shitty joke about, oh, so this is this literally just gonna be 10 episodes of this guy wrestling with a bear? Like, but
Is there any more dreams? I mean, is that like a regular thing?
I don't remember from the first season. No, I don't think so.
I mean, the one thing that put me off in that first episode is this whole well, there's a subplot about a video game. I'm like, what's this doing in here? I mean, I understand some restaurants have video games still lingering in there. I mean, they're becoming few and far between. So that just seemed weird. I mean, it's not set in the past or anything, is it? I mean, the games look like they were old games,
Yeah, I think that's just to signify an authenticity of its time and place when it was probably more popular,
right?
Or kind of set in its ways,
kind
of thing. I think that kind of cements that.
And then it had cosplayers in it, which as soon as I see cosplayers, I'm just thinking, yeah,
dressed up as Bill Cosby. Not nice, Mike. Not cool.
Well, remember the kickball league in Williamsburg, and they'd come wearing costumes and hang out at the turkey's nest. They were cosplayers.
All right.
But then you have your sorcerers and wizards, and
in the bear.
No, just these people who just like to dress up and congregate together.
Yeah, they're called actors, Mike. I don't know what to tell you. They're
but in the bear, remember that there was a line forming outside before they opened it. Yeah, they have odd hours, I guess, and they open in the middle of the day, and all these there was some sort of social media brought a flash mob, and they were all in costume. And then and then the crazy cousin went out there with the gun. He fires off the gun.
Were they in costumes? I don't remember.
Yeah, they were in costumes. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
It was weird. It's like, all right.
I love Richie. I'm never going to get the guy's name right. Eben Moss Bacharach or something. I
don't have any of their names.
He's so. Did you watch?
I don't even know his name. I can't.
Did you watch? It's a 3-name thing. It's Eben Moss Williams or something. He's amazing in this show. Did you ever watch Girls?
I saw some episodes. Yeah.
He was in. You can admit it, Mike. You can admit you watched Girls. You don't have to.
Was he the dweeby guy?
Oh, he showed up.
All I remember is Adam Driver, and
he dated. He was Marnie's. I think they got married eventually. He probably was around for like 2 seasons, and it was such a shit character.
I think I loved
watching him because he was so good as he just the character was kind of repulsive, but he was so good. So when he popped up in the bear, I was like, oh, this is gonna be
he
good.
pops up in the bear. Yeah.
Well, he's the cousin. He's Richie, the guy. Yeah.
Okay.
The asshole that everyone hates or whatever.
Okay.
The guy shooting the gun. The loser.
Okay. I didn't remember him from Girls. No.
Yeah, he was in like probably a season's worth. Ended up marrying Marnie, but he was a total disaster. That's the irony of the show Girls. By the end, the only characters you like are the guys. Adam Driver, him, and Ray. Remember Ray?
Ray, yeah, that's who I was thinking.
You must love Ray. Come on.
No,
you love Ray. Don't tell me
Ray was annoying. I thought you were talking about Ray.
You must love Ray. Grouchy.
Why do I love
Ray?
Why do I love Ray? I mean, I don't even know if I watched the full season.
Ray is like a younger, more curmudgeonly, and I say this with affection, Mike Lisk.
Well, I did not make the connection.
And I say this as a compliment. So if you watch it and you don't like it, don't get upset at me. I love it. So
But I heard a
I just
Wilco.
started watching The Bear. So.
I heard a Wilco song in the first episode.
That's
And
another thing. The
yeah.
soundtrack, this whole second season, I don't want to give any away. Like every episode, it's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Big
Not
songs.
only, well, I'll give it, not only in one episode do they play two replacement songs, one all the way through, but in the background, they're talking about the replacements. So you're like, wow, like, could you imagine that when I was a kid? But and like the soundtrack is just off the charts great. I can't say enough about the second season of the show.
And they had more money. They probably had some more money for the second season. So
I guess, but it's not like it doesn't seem to have gotten in the way of anything. Yeah. Because sometimes that happens. Sometimes the money truck backs up, like Ted Lasso, they kind of ruined the last season with the money truck. I don't get that. You're right. They probably got more money, but I don't think it was a problem. So.
No. Did you ever go to Rosie OGrady's in New York?
No, who's he?
It was a bar. It was a saloon, like Midtown.
Saloon. You used to say saloon more often.
Well, that's what it's called. It's called Rosie OGrady's Saloon. I guess it's been around 40 some odd years. I thought it was a place. We used to go to this place on 9th Avenue someplace. Had like a jazz jukebox. Do you remember that place? I think I was in there with you one time. We were bouncing around.
With bar name. I'm terrible with names.
Yeah, no, particularly in New York. I was going to a bunch of places. And
what was the one by West Group with the $10 all you can drink? Something with a horse.
Oh, the White Horse?
Was it the White Horse?
Yeah, White Horse Tavern. That's famous.
No. That's famous. No, you remember the one is every Thursday they'd have $10 all you can drink?
Antarctica?
No, not Antarctica.
Kettle of Fish?
Maybe it was Antarctica. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know why I have a picture of a horse. But
Antarctica was like one of our regulars.
Yeah. Maybe it was Antarctica. That was great. Yeah.
They had a pool table. It was spacious. It was never crowded in there. And who did the flaming shot and then they caught on fire? I remember that. Was that Ricky Hustle?
Oh, Ricky Hustle.
Sounds like something Ricky Hustle would do.
You know what I did a week or two ago? I dug up, that's you screen grabs. I went on archive.org and dug up Curb Dog's website.
Oh, really? Okay.
We gotta track Ricky Hustle and AC down and get them on. Because if once we're done with this real softball summer celebration that I'm not putting together in any way, and I hope just magically happens.
What's going on? I mean, we're into the summer now. It's like I have a schedule by now.
I got to put the feelers back out. Then after that, we can focus on the West Group musical with that whole gang. I would love to get that. I would love to get that gang together. Get you guys going.
I mean, I look back on my experience at West Group, which was a law book publisher, right? It was an austere. I mean, West Group is one of the biggest law books in the country, and but the office itself, the people who were there were an unusual group of people. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, like made for like some cheap indie movie of that era, late 90s. So good.
There was.
I would like to know where are they now with some of those guys.
There are some people I don't want to know where they are because.
Well, I don't want to interact. I just want to get information, be a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
So good.
But were you were part of the baseball trip when we went to you weren't part of that?
Did I go to baseball?
It was
yes.
It was a double header.
And it was the night JFK died.
Who?
JFK Jr. It's the day he died.
That was the night he died. I thought that was a different game.
It was a Mets game, right?
No. Yes, that was the Mets and the Braves. You're right. And I remember going, yeah, I was at a game that night. But no, this other game was McGuire was in the home run race with Sosa, right?
Right.
So it was a double header against the Cardinals. He was on the Cardinals, right?
Mhm.
And a large part of our group decided to tailgate in the parking lot through the entire first game.
Yep.
So 3 hours plus of drinking in the parking lot, and then we'll come in and watch the second game.
Perfect.
But
What
here's
could
the
go
kick.
wrong?
Here's the kicker. So I came in late. I was part of the party, but I wasn't the last person at the party. So I come in, and our manager is there with his son.
Mhm.
And we've got, from our seats, they weren't good seats. We're up in the rafters. You've got a perfect view of our group of people in the parking lot. You could see them. You could literally see all the employees from West Group in the parking lot tailgating through the whole first game.
Mhm.
So the manager and his son were sitting there basically in two empty rows because nobody had come in yet.
Yeah.
And then so me and a couple people came up, and he's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Where is everybody?" This is a company outing. This is an official thing. They got the tickets, and we were, squandering them, by spending the first game in the parking lot. So then
I wouldn't say you squandered it.
well, no, I had a good time, but he did not seem to be enjoying the experience since he's sitting
Mhm.
there by himself in these empty rows.
Who brings a kid to a doubleheader, though? Come on, let's be honest.
Well, he was not a kid. He was, he was a teenager, it looked like.
Mm.
But so, and then now you have the parade of drunken employees coming in little by little during the second game, and
Oh,
it
perfect.
was just a scene.
That's going in the West Group sitcom.
Yeah, that was one of the more memorable outings, let's put it.
Oh, that's great. I never heard that one, but yeah, I went with y'all to one. It would have been 99, I think, because that's when JFK Jr. died. So
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, I think that there was a similar thing. The company had tickets, and a bunch of us went. I don't think it was as big a group, but yeah, that was, yeah, I remember being at that game, and then yeah, later that night we heard about it.
like people say, where were you when JFK died?
Hmm.
You could say
Yeah,
we were at the Mets game.
yeah. It was hot too, wasn't it? Real hot that night or something.
Yeah, it was middle of July. I'm sure it was fucking
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Anyway, but anyway, this bar, Rosie OGrady Saloon, is closing. I thought maybe we had been there, but I'm thinking of another place.
I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if I went to 1,000 bars in my time in New York, remember the name of 5 of them. I mean, part of the reason
Yeah.
I would go back to the same bars over and over is because I remember the names and where they were.
Yeah.
That's like, is Grassroots Tavern still open on St. Mark's?
Yeah, that was a favorite spot.
That's my favorite. That was probably my favorite Manhattan bar.
I like that bar. They had popcorn, right?
Popcorn. They had
Yeah.
the wood floors, popcorn, great jukebox.
Yeah.
That was my number one. Anytime I had to meet somebody, I'd always do Grassroots. Yeah, that's my favorite. That and remember the Holiday Bar?
Holiday Bar.
That on St. Mark's?
What?
The Holiday. The owner was a Nazi. Like a
No,
literal, he was like 1,000 years old.
uh,
And apparently he get a couple in him and then start stomping around singing old Nazi songs.
no, I didn't have that experience.
Mike, easy. I'm not condoning Nazism.
I'm not saying you are.
Easy. I'm not
I'm
saying
not saying you
condone it.
are. I'm not saying you are.
I'm just saying that was pretty fun. I can picture him. He probably died like right after. I can picture him like stomping around singing at the top of his lungs.
No, the more famous owner was the owner of the Village Idiot.
Who's that?
You never went to the Village Idiot?
Oh, of course I did, but I
Yeah,
don't
all right.
know the owner.
You never saw the owner in there?
I don't know. Who was it?
I mean, he was just the drunkest person in the bar generally. He could barely stand up. You'd always see him flopping somewhere.
I don't ever
And
pick up on that.
then people would say, "Oh, there's the owner." The guy staggering around, barely able to stand. That's the owner of this place. And I'm like, okay, look, it explains a lot.
Explains a lot.
It
Explains
did.
the ever-present puke smell.
Yeah, no,
great
that was one of the worst. Yeah, I guess it was the worst. I never had a red. What's the Red Rocks?
Red Rocks. Oh, Mike, you are scratching me where I itch today.
Yeah,
Although I
yeah.
put the idiot. The idiot is where I won't say his name, but a certain friend of ours, after we'd spent the morning in court because of my public urination fiasco, which is in my book,
Yeah.
Williamsburg Rats. He
Wait
and
a
I,
second. I thought it was fiction.
loosely based.
Loosely based. Okay.
I think I tell the story of how it happened. It's really funny. And so me and my buddy, after we got a slap in the wrist, I think I paid we had to pay like a $40 fine. And of course, yes, Your Honor, I learned my lesson. Yes. And then cut 30 minutes later, my shirt's off at the idiot. I'm spinning in a circle on the floor. And I forget what, but it's like, oh, God, I love the idiot. The big memory of that is another friend of ours who loved getting in fights. Not the first one we're thinking of, who was my first story.
Yeah.
But another, we got all of a sudden in this huge fight.
The guy who wore leather pants one time.
Yes. Yes. Good
Yeah,
one.
he's the most, low key guy, but for whatever reason, he'd have a few drinks and he want to fight people.
Well, he was one of those where he loved if you brushed by him.
Yeah.
Love that stuff. And another of our friends did too. And me being the big dumb lummox was always there like an oaf, just waiting to get my ass kicked. We get all of a sudden in this huge fight of the idiot, and the bartender, who's this tiny girl, didn't have a shirt.
Yeah, so it's always young ladies, bartenders. And I never saw a bouncer in there.
No, and she didn't have a shirt on. She had tape
covering. Tape, yeah, they'd have tape night. Yeah,
and she's got a bottle in the middle of all of us swinging it at everybody. And
good
then, of course,
her.
10 minutes later, we're all sitting together having a beer.
Okay, she didn't throw you out though.
Of course not.
She should have thrown you out.
Get kicked out of that place.
Well,
it was part of the dance. Did you push me? We're doing this. We're about to do this, but we don't do that. Let me buy you a beer. Now we're best friends forever. That dance that we always did.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but our second friend, we're at the Paul Westerberg show, and it hadn't even started yet. And yeah, he somebody brushed him or bumped into him, and he's turning to me. He's like, "You got my back?"
That's right.
You got my back? I'm like, "No, I don't have your back. I'm here to see a show. I'm not here to get thrown out over some nonsense." So yeah,
I did piggyback him once with a lady. He was on her.
Wait, do you want to rephrase that? I mean, I don't know if that's the.
No, because it is applicable.
Okay.
I forget where we were, some show, and he's working on this young lady, and she's having none of it. And he goes to the bathroom or whatever. She's like, "Will you get me out of here? Your friend is driving me nuts." I'm like, "All right." Next thing you know, I'm in a New York University dorm.
Really?
Had to leave my
was it Weinstein?
Mike, I didn't. I was hooking up with a lady. I didn't check with the architect.
Well, how big were the rooms? Were they like concrete walls?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all right, that could have been my old dorm.
Well, that good thing I didn't know it then, because that would have ruined my performance. And I had to leave my ID with the front desk.
Right? Yeah.
She's like, "He's my guest." So the next morning, part of my walk of non-shame, I had to pick up my ID from these guys. They're like, "Oh, had a study group stay over?" I'm like, "Nope."
All right, that was probably my dorm.
She said, I remember the next morning, she's like, "Were we safe?" I said, "Well, you didn't fall out of a window, did you?" That's how my gymnastics were back then, Mike.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know why I'm telling this story out loud to people, but
Well, yeah,
I was a young man. I was in my 20s.
This is news to me, and now I've got a whole different image of my dorm. Now that I know that you befouled it.
Oh, I defiled it. Spoiled your dorm.
You defiled it.
Probably, let's say this is, I don't know, 99-ish, 2000.
Wow.
The
Well,
Mike,
I was long out of there, but
yeah, the Mike List Memorial statue hadn't been built yet.
yeah, they kicked my ass out. They found a way to get me out of there. They didn't have a lot of dorm rooms, so they would find these little things to kick you out after. They had to ensure that freshmen got a dorm room.
Yeah.
And,
well, it is a city, man.
and
So,
you know, I paid a lot of my stuff was with financial aid and stuff. And so the summer before my third year, I'm trying to make arrangements for my junior year. And as they said, I was too late. I was a week too late. This is the summer before.
good thing my little friend I brought back to the dorms never said that to me.
And so they kicked me out. Spent the next 2 years in Bayonne living with relatives. And actually, I think that was a better experience. I saved some money.
You don't need to be in a dorm when you're a junior in college. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But why were we talking about Idiot Red Rocks? Remember that was a great one.
Well, yeah, I was talking about this bar that closed. I couldn't remember if we ever went there before.
The Reservoir. Sorry, that was another one. Keep going. I'm sorry.
The Reservoir?
Remember that one?
I don't remember that one.
Yeah. So what about this Jack E. Gads or something you said you brought up? Kick this off.
Now I don't know where I am.
Jack O. Gad or something pub?
No, Rosie OGrady's.
Rosie OGrady's.
Yeah. I mean, I used to go to McHale's on 8th Avenue. They had a great burger. You ever go there?
Yep.
There was another, it's like an Irish name. I can't remember, but it just had like a glass front. But it was like near my office. We used to go there a lot. I can't think of it now. It's probably long.
Speaking of bar memory lane, just early this morning, I don't know why it popped up, but out of the corner of my eye, I like see a picture of the turkey's nest pop up. So somewhere. And as I'm turning to look at it, I'm like, oh man, let me see. I bet the turkey's nest has changed so much. And then I'm like, nope. Exact same.
Well, for my Make Mike Marvel podcast.
Oh, here we go with the promotion. All right.
I had to watch Daredevil, which apparently they filmed scenes in the turkey's nest. And I watched the scene and didn't realize it was a turkey's nest. So now I have to go back to watch this scene again and see why I didn't pick up on it at all. I think I would have recognized it, but I apparently didn't.
How would you not have known that? Like,
yeah, no, I don't understand. I spent lots of time.
I remember when they filmed an episode of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy in one of the apartments up above, and that's all anybody talked about like for a month.
Yeah, I remember
they filmed Daredevil.
Everybody was talking about that. Yeah,
all anybody talked about.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I saw the episode. Now I'm thinking about it. I mean, Daredevil, when did that come out? 20 years ago, right?
No, I think it came out in like 2015. It was on Netflix. It's a series.
Oh, I thought you meant the Ben Affleck.
No, not the Ben Affleck. It was a series.
And yeah, if that had happened when we were there, we'd have known about it. You're not filming Daredevil at the turkey's nest without.
No. Yeah, memory lane. But anyway, this Irish place I can't think of now. I ended up one night after work, everybody drifted away, and so I'm there by myself. Then I start talking to this guy, just a random guy. I think he was a firefighter or something. Now he wants to go bouncing.
Was it Steve Buscemi?
It wasn't Steve Buscemi. Now he wants to go to some other place. We jump in a cab. We're going across town, and we get into a car accident. Our cab T-bones another car in an intersection.
Free fare.
But here's the funny thing. It's late at night, it's real late at night. I
Mhm.
should have been heading home. Why did I get in this cab and then
Congrats, Mike. They
end
pile
up
up.
end up in a car accident?
Mm.
But my my part, we weren't hurt. It was just like, there wasn't even, I don't even think there was any broken glass. It was just like a thud. We
Mhm.
sort of bounced forward, and that was that. But my drinking buddy decided, like, he's going to make a night of it. So he went through the whole thing. I just got out of the cab and looked for the nearest subway station.
Mhm.
I was living in Queens at the time,
People's
and what's that?
the People's Borough.
The People's Borough. And he decided that, he was going to go the full nine with that and go to the hospital, make a complaint, and
Ooh.
maybe
Let
a
me
little,
guess. That guy is Jeff Bezos. He is.
maybe a little ka-ching
Yeah.
5 years in the future.
Yeah. We're making fun of him. It's Jeff fucking Bezos.
No, I'm
He's
pretty
telling the
sure it
story. Yeah,
wasn't
one
Jeff
night me and this
Bezos.
idiot were in this cab together. He just went off to a subway.
Uh-huh. But yeah, no, I can't say I missed those days. They were fun, but also kind of dangerous too at the same time, because I'd always have to get back to Bayonne, and
Yeah, you had that. Yeah,
that was a long trek. And
I don't envy that. But it's also a shame. It's a bummer because that was also right before everything was filmed or photographed.
mhm.
Like I have so many great memories, but then there's so much I miss, obviously, because I was in my cups for a lot of it. But even like just regular softball Sundays before we did the Nest, like it's a shame that more of that wasn't captured because you just didn't really do that back then.
That's
Even if you
true.
got your
Yeah.
phone, first couple of years, you didn't think to take out a picture and take a picture of everything or whatever. So
Yeah. No.
it all came right before everything
Mhm.
was documented.
No, I like memories. I mean, how often do you go and look back at pictures? I don't do that much. I mean, I don't have kids, so I think if you had kids, yeah, you want
Yeah,
a lot of pictures and so on.
I
But
mean, videos are great to find from back then, but yeah, it's so rare. But yeah, I do worry. I'm like, gee, I've probably forgotten more. Like the percentage of fun shit just from when I was in New York,
mhm.
of fun, cool shit I'd like to remember. I've probably forgotten 90% of it, right? Just because,
Well,
partly because, it's just aging and you get older and you forget stuff.
mhm.
As you're living it, it's not like you're thinking, oh, I need to remember this. Unlike when I was constipated, at no point
Which
during
you'll
any of those,
remember on your deathbed
yeah,
vividly.
unlike when I was finally unleashed from the bounds of constipation, at no point did I think, oh, I should soak this in and remember it. But that's, who does? Nobody does.
No, you
But
don't
yeah,
want to remember it all.
it's a bummer none of that is documented. But then again, for all I know, if it was, if we looked at it, maybe it was dull. It's like all of a sudden, like 10 years ago, somebody sent around a videotape they had found of what was my first ever varsity football game.
Mhm.
Not because it's me, but like I don't even think we filmed most of our games. You just didn't really do it back then, but somebody had filmed it. And I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to watch this. Because even though we sucked, when you look back on playing football, you think of, oh, just this blur of violence and we're just killing and running. And then I'm watching it and I'm like, it's like 2 seconds of action and then like 3 minutes of guys standing
Uh-huh.
around with their hands on their hips. Yeah, kind of looking around. That's the video. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
if the clip was like 11 minutes, 10:45 was of us just standing around. So I guess the worry would be somebody walks up, the devil walks up and says, oh, I have footage of all those glory days, your nights in New York City, all
Uh-huh.
these stories, all these nights. And then you're watching it. What if it turns out it was just kind of dull? Would that be worse?
Yeah. Well,
I'm blowing your mind,
perspective.
Mike. Should I slow
What's it?
down?
No,
It looks like your mind is blown.
no. It's the perspective. It changes over time.
Yeah,
Um,
you don't want to be one of these telling the same stories back in my day, guy, but
Mhm.
you don't want all to slip away. So
I'm just glad that I didn't injure myself in some way.
we're all happy about that. We're all relieved. When you made it through your Cy Young season, 2004, intact, I'm just saying there was palpable relief along that bench, Mike.
I mean, I think I did I get hit in the head one time, or I had
I'm not saying a lot of us didn't lose a lot of money when you came through unscathed, but we were happy.
I had a shot right back at me one time. I never saw the ball. I mean, all of a sudden, you know,
All right, we don't need to
it
tell
was a shot. It was a shot. But
when did you stop playing?
I guess it was about 2008. I think 2007. It was the year my mother passed away. So like 2007, she passed away, and I don't think I went back for 2008. So
You
it
were
was a good run
you
from
were
like
there when we played for the
98 to
championship when we had
what's
those
that?
three. You were there for the championship when we had those 3 games in one day.
Was it Enid's?
I think no, I think it's Black Bet. Enid's we lost to in 04. I think Black Betty we played the championship, and that was the year that we'll play 3 games in one day, which was insane. Even
Yeah.
for stupid Sunday softball.
Hmm.
We lost over 3 games. We won the first game and lost the next two. And their friend in the leather pants, who we mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
pitched all 27 innings that day. So
Yeah. No, I don't think I was there for that one. But yeah, we had good times there. They're all gone.
yeah, we're gonna get back together. Trust
Yeah,
me.
this make it happen,
I
man.
got this whole thing cooking. Don't worry about it.
I can get down there.
Yeah.
So no fortune cookie for you. Again, another weak one from me. He who sows courtesy reaps friendship.
To do anything to get a sow and reap thing in there, right?
You'll sow
Can't
and
you
reap.
say something?
We're all still farmers. We're still farming away.
Yeah, sow and reap in there just sounds more important and
Mhm.
special, I guess.
Biblical.
When's the last time I had a fortune cookie? It's been a while. Can I give a quick shout out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Number one, I'm giving up on my younger brother just moved to India.
Permanently?
No, it's for work.
Oh.
It'll be like a year and a half
Wow.
thing. He's excited about it. I am not because of the snakes, but so kind of out of it in his honor.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'll read Passage to India.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I liked Howard's End.
Mm-hmm.
I
You like
liked
that? Okay. I thought it was
It's been a
dull.
while. And after 100 pages, I was like, I got to give this up. This is awful. Number one, I'm bad with names anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So these names,
Yeah.
forget it. And I'm 100 pages in. I'm like, nothing so far has even remotely started happening to indicate what I think is probably going to be the plot or whatever it is that people claim makes this one of the best novels of the last century. But I'm doubly, so I finally gave it up. I don't like to give up on books, but I was like, enough's enough. Which sucks because I had been on a bit of a hot streak. I had 4 books in a row that were not only just great books, but each one of them left an imprint on me.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of I'm like writing down lines. I'm like, wow, that really hit me. I'm going to list them for you, Mike.
Okay.
I think I mentioned Memoirs of a Madman a couple months ago.
Uh-huh.
But then, thanks to our buddy Serge, you remember Serge, Serge?
Yes.
He had mentioned
From Marat.
Yes, from Marat. I don't know why I try to hide these people's identity.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like, what am I,
You've talked about them before.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm protecting these people. Number one, they're not listening. Nobody gives a shit. And I'm not, it's not like I'm giving away Whitey Bulger's address or something. But anyway, so he had mentioned a couple of books and The Painted Bird, which I remember mentioned to you before.
Yeah, I saw you raving about it. I'm willing to give it a try. I saw some reviews though. I was surprised you really were raving it because I guess there is a fair amount of really graphic violence and I don't know. I didn't think that would be something that you would like, or
Yeah. No, I agree with that, but it was just so impactful, the
hmm Really?
viewpoint
Okay.
of the main character.
Right.
And through that book, I got Mother by Maxim Gorky. You ever read that?
Okay.
So it's just like
No.
this, so beginning of socialism.
Uh-huh.
It's all these great thoughts and whatever. How
hmm
articulate am I? It's these great thoughts.
hmm
And also another surge pick was, I don't know how to say it because it's weird. Spill, Simmer, Falter, Wither. It's this Irish author, Sarah. I wrote it down, Sarah Baum. If you want to read a book that's just beautiful, depressing, poignant. I have a dog in my life that I love with all my heart, so I spent most of it crying my eyes out. Not because anything bad necessarily happens to the dog. I don't want to give away anything, but beautifully written book, heart-wrenching, beautiful. Can't recommend it enough.
What year did it come out? Do you know?
A couple years ago,
Okay, so it's
within the last,
relatively new.
yeah. She's young, Irish. So I was on this hot run with books. Like I said, not only did I enjoy reading in and of itself, but like really made an impact on me. How I think, how I want to think, how I can be, I don't want to say a better person. But and then I run into a passage to India. And it's just like, so
Maybe I haven't read this book. I own it. I have a copy.
even better. Read
It's a
it.
book.
I
It's
own
a
it.
no, but it's a book called A Fine Balance
Mhm.
by Rohinton Mystery.
Fine. By, say it again.
Rohinton Mystery, Mistry.
Uh-huh.
And it's about India in 1975.
Mhm.
I'm reading from Amazon.
Mhm.
With a compassionate realism and narrative sweep that recall the work of Charles Dickens,
Ooh.
this magnificent novel captures all the cruelty and corruption, dignity and heroism of India.
All things I like.
So maybe this is your India book.
Well, as you know, I love Charles Dickens and narrative sweeps, so might be right up my alley. All right, I'm gonna give that a spin.
Yeah, I haven't read it. I remember reading good things about it. I think somebody even recommended it. But you buy these books and then they sit around for a while.
Mhm.
Maybe
Yeah, I would like to. I don't know if I've ever read a book based in India, but yeah, since my brother Will is there, I'd like to read one, have a little,
mhm.
So we keep talking about trying to get him on the show from there, but the time difference is just so weird.
I connected with your brother on Instagram.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Are you aware of Tavin Dillard?
I thought you said, are you aware that he is selling,
No.
trafficking children?
No. I
Travis Dillard?
Yeah, there's a guy. I mean, he's all over social media, but I see him on I see him on Instagram. His name is Tavin Dillard.
Tavin?
Tavin, Tavin, Dillard. And he does this, let's just say, broad, stereotypical Southern character. But he's created his own little world around him.
Mhm.
And he does these really funny videos. He's doing, these, I guess they're local expressions to the point where I have to sometimes look up some of what he's talking about because I don't know what he's talking about.
Hmm.
But it's very funny, and I think I posted one of his reels, and your brother contacted me, and he said you should get him on Egg Foo What,
Oh, there you go.
and I said, well, get your brother to get him on.
Said, hey, I'm the booker here, buddy. Back off, loser.
So you could be a hero in your brother's eyes if you get Tavin Dillard on the show.
All right.
Some people might disagree with me. He reminds me a lot of John Worster.
Okay.
His characters are like really sort of deep with the details. and very funny. So check out some of his videos. I think you'll like them.
All right, I'll give them a run through and see if it's worthy of inviting them on the show. Yeah, that would happen. I assume my brother would have no problem doing the 5 o'clock Zoom call for that show. So.
Well, he's got a big following. I mean, he's been around for a while, I guess, and yeah, it's just one of these things I just came across. But he's been going strong for a long time. So
yeah, we haven't had a guest though. When was the last guest? We haven't had a guest in a while.
No, we haven't had one in a while. We've sort of cooled off on that, but
not that we needed one. I'm just saying, like literally, it's been a while. So.
We just tend to ramble on, whether a guest is here or not.
Oh, you know who I need to get? Well, I guess my Dave Davies try failed. The razor blade thing. Although he did like, you saw I got the like.
Yeah, you got a like there.
Saw who I got a like from 2 days ago.
Yeah, who was it?
I'm sorry, not a like, a reply. Say his name.
You know, I saw it and I can't remember.
Eric Idle.
All right. Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
He responds to lots of people too.
Oh my God, come on.
I've seen.
You gotta take this away from me.
I've seen him reply to other people.
Shame on you, Mike. I've been floating on air for 2 days. Now, Mike,
well, give us the details so everybody knows.
Human compass point into a balloon.
Give us the details.
Those are the details.
No, but what was your reply? What did you say that he replied?
What did I say? Yeah, what was I talking about?
I don't know. You had this moment, but you've already forgotten the details.
Do a little dance. I'll give you the detail. Somebody. Oh, he was talking about Hugh Bonneville, who everyone knows from Downton Abbey, and I said, "Oh, he was great in Freezing," which also is how I found out about Tom Hollander, who I love.
Okay.
And he wrote back, "Hollander is wonderful."
Yeah. Okay. Which yeah, you were talking about stuff I didn't even know what the hell you were talking about. I mean, I know what Downton Abbey is. I watched one episode and I was out.
Well, shit on that too. Okay, good.
But you were showing off your BBC knowledge, and
I don't think I'm showing off. I don't know if I can show off my BBC knowledge to Eric Idle.
Well, but you're showing like, hey, all us dumb, we're not all dumb Americans. Look at this American over here, dropping all these, these allusions to British actors and so on.
So now that I got shot down by Dave Davies, maybe I'll turn my efforts to Eric Idle and Tavin Dillard.
There you go. They would make 2 good guests for the show. Yeah.
All right.
I think we're done here.
I'll work on it.
I want to thank everybody for listening.
I want to give another shout out to my boy Dish.
Okay.
You remember Dish?
Yes, of course.
The other day was the 25th anniversary of the first time we met up and rocked out together. As the happy scene, he answered an ad of mine in the Village Voice. It was $34.
Oh, you just had that was a random meet? I thought you met him through Will or somebody else.
No, I put an ad in the Village Voice. 1998, $34.98 money. And he answered. And I put in the ad, beginner's welcome for a drummer. Because I knew, I stunk. I was like, nobody's going to want to come play with me. And he had never played drums before, but he wanted to. So I said, sure, let's try it. And there we were. And we were together for a couple of years as a drummer. Then we reformed as Heyday. He was my guitar player. And just always very important to me when it comes to my music career in New York. And yeah, it popped up the other day. It's like, wow, 25 years. So little shout out. I
don't think I ever saw him play drums. I saw him when I thought he was the bass player. He played guitar.
How can you be so wrong so many times?
I don't know.
So few things.
He never played bass with you?
He might have. for whatever reason. You never saw him. Didn't you see us when we played CBs? He played drums there.
I think I saw you a couple times. I saw you at the place. What's the big one? I always forget the name.
Meadowland,
The place with the pizza.
the Charleston.
Yeah, the Charleston.
That's not the big one.
Where else did you play?
That's it.
You never played Hanks?
Our first two shows were at the Continental. The second of which I played the entire show without realizing I hadn't turned my amp on. And I realized it, and like I was like, and left my amp off by accident, and like nobody noticed. That's how ineffective as a guitar player was. Afterwards, packing up, the owner or whatever came by. Great set. I was like, oh.
Continental.
So if you're out there, Dish, it was great. One day, hopefully we'll make a little music again. So
All right, I'm going to say goodbye again, third time.
oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Any more shout outs, or all the shout outs?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm friendly to people. Guilty as charged.
Okay.
I'll shut up next week.
So yes, I want to thank everybody for listening. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, leave a comment.
Ding.
Leave a comment. We're always looking for
Attention,
your
money.
reviews. Your reviews are interesting to us.
What are our numbers going to look like after I popped up on Slice of Life last night? Is that going to be like a problem?
Well, we'll see with this episode. We'll see if we got the best show bump.
Yeah. It's gonna be a thing where they're gonna get nervous, like, all right, we can't have this guy Greg on anymore. Too hot. Comes in too hot.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So
we'll check the numbers, and I'll get back to you.
All right. Well, yeah. Everybody do whatever Mike said with all the stuff down here, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.